Hey guys, so today I'm going to be looking at off my chest stories. Yeah, let's just get right into the video. I accidentally got my sister pregnant and we aren't telling anyone to make a rich husband believe it's his. How do you accidentally get your sister pregnant? Well, I guess we're gonna find out. My sister and I grew up very close. We are close in age. I'm 22 and she's 25, so we got to experience a lot of life things around the same time. Because of that, we became best friends super early on. Growing up, I was absolutely never attracted to her in any sort of way. I also believe it's worth stating that I have never had any sort of brother or sister fetish or any sort of incest fetish either. And after everything that's happened, I still don't. 3 years ago, I started college and moved to a different state. A few weeks later, my sister's longtime boyfriend asked her to marry him. It's the first time I was ever really super far away from my family, and it bothered me really badly. I got super bad depression and became really homesick. Around 7 months later, I got to fly back home and see my family for my sister's wedding day. It was one of the biggest days of my life, seeing my best friend marry the man of her dreams. Now, a tiny bit of backstory here. Her husband's dad is insanely wealthy, a really big name in the pharmacy business. He not only got paid 100% for the huge wedding, but also bought them a gorgeous house in full, apparently with a check, as a wedding gift from the dad and mum. I went back to college and life back home went on normally. I was still really depressed and homesick, but decided to do what I had to do and just push on. I was able to visit back home a few more times because of holidays. The one time I went back home other than for a holiday was a surprise party for my parents' 30th anniversary. Usually when I went home, I would get picked up at the airport by my dad and I would stay at the house in a spare bedroom. But because this was a big secret, my sister picked me up and I was staying at her house for the 5 days I was in town. The party was great and everything went wonderful. There was a lot of alcohol there and I definitely drank my fair share. The party ended around 10 p.m. My sister and I were both pretty drunk and took an Uber back to her house about 15 minutes away. Her husband works long hours and was unable to take off work this day, and by the time we got home, he was already asleep in the bedroom. We decided to go into the spare bedroom that I was sleeping in just to catch up and talk. We chatted for around an hour and a half, just talking about life and stuff. We were both pretty drunk at this point and it was getting pretty late. I had to pee and told her I would be right back. So I got up and walked into the bathroom attached to the bedroom I was staying in and started to pee. Didn't think anything of it. When I walked back into the room, my sister was laughing. I asked her what was so funny when she admitted I somehow managed to go 22 years without seeing your dick. I was super confused and sort of embarrassed. I asked her what she was talking about. She told me that she could see into the bathroom mirror which reflected where I was standing to pee. Well, was it worth the wait? I said, drunkenly laughing with her. Just that the mood of the room completely changed. It was like someone flipped a switch. We kept bantering back and forth for a few minutes when absolutely nowhere I started kissing her on the lips pretty aggressively. Ew. Oh my god, no. I immediately realized what I was doing and started to pull away when she grabbed onto my head and pulled me back. Oh my god, how do you... That's disgusting. I got extremely turned on and she did too. What the hell? How do you get turned on by that? That's just sister. That's disgusting. I would vomit, man. Like, oh, ugh. It didn't feel like we were brother and sister at all. It felt like we were longtime friends who finally gave into each other's lust. Things got heated quickly and before we knew it, we were having sex. It lasted for around 10 minutes before we both finished. We laughed it off nervously and got dressed quickly. How do you laugh it off? I'm so confused. I hope this isn't real, okay? Like, I legitimately hope this is just a joke. We chatted for just a little bit longer before finally deciding to call it a night. It felt so wrong and weird afterwards. The rest of my trip was super awkward. Us having to pretend that everything was normal with this being the biggest thing on our mind was challenging. But before I knew it, my trip was over and I went back to college. Weeks later, I received a text from my sister asking if I had some time to talk alone. My heart sank because I knew it was going to be about that night. I put it off for hours before finally calling her. She called me to tell me that she was pregnant and she's 100% sure that the baby is mine. Why is she 100% sure? Is it because she's never had sex with her husband? Or like, she hasn't had sex with her husband for a long time? What? No way. I was speechless. I wasn't expecting something like this at all. We talked and tried to figure out what we should do. We were cornered in a situation that was so above our heads we couldn't even figure out where to start. Abortion came into discussion multiple times, but neither of us wanted that. We decided that it would be best to act like her husband is the father and raise it like so without ever telling anyone ever because of how wealthy his family is. Absolutely no one knows or has the even slightest clue. This is a secret that my sister and I put a life on to protect. Yeah, but it's not a secret anymore if you're telling us, right? Things will never be the same between us. The last handful of months, I have become a heavy drinker and party goer and failing almost every one of my classes. It's messed me up a ton. It's going to be super weird whenever I have kids now too. It's so weird how a quick dumb decision could change the rest of your life. Yeah, that's dumb. That's freaking dumb and weird and disgusting. Like, what the heck is going on with you? Like, no way when you get so drunk, all of a sudden you find your sibling attractive. No, never. That is disgusting. I have no words. I freaking... Please let it be fake. Let's find the husband, man. We gotta tell him. Seriously, we gotta tell him. Can we like wash our eyes? I mean, we didn't even see anything. Wash our brains, I mean. Alright, moving on to the next story. Hopefully it's better. I thought he stood me up on our date. Turns out he died. Okay, that's definitely not better. We've been on 4 dates and instantly clicked and had so much in common and constantly talked, and he was just awesome. Had sex on our 3rd date and he was amazing as well. I really thought I had found a good one. And then right before our 5th date, he went radio silent and promptly stood me up at a restaurant. Or so I thought. Oh well, he probably got something better to do. Thank God it's only been 3 weeks and I didn't get too invested. But I also really liked him and was hella mad. 4 whole days of me delving into every insecurity I ever had, trying to find a reason he would ghost me like this and embarrass me by standing me up. And then I met my friend, his coworker, who introduced him to me. I didn't want to seem unpleasant or anything, so I just told him to tell the guy I'm not mad that he stood me up, to then be met with the saddest look. Did you not know? Know what? He died. He got into a car crash on the 6th and died. How did you not know that? I was speechless. For days I thought this wonderful guy ghosted me for no reason and was totally pissed with him. Turns out he got clipped by a reckless driver and died on his way to our date. I don't even know how to react. I'm just so flabbergasted right now. I've known him for less than a month. How does one even deal with something like this? Wow, that's so sad. She thought he ghosted her, but he died trying to get to her. That's sad, man. That's tough. I mean, it's not her fault at all. It's not anyone's fault, but the driver's fault. Seriously. Dang. Wow, that's really sad. Well, that's not better than the last story. Alright, moving on. My 27-year-old cousin wants to marry my 13-year-old sister. Should we call it a day? Seriously, should we just end the video now? You know what this makes me think of? Child brides. Like, that's still a thing in some countries. My cousin came over to my house yesterday with a straight face. He told me that he literally said he was thinking about asking my dad about marrying my 13-year-old sister. I was dumbfounded, horrified, and really upset. My cousin, who I was close to for years, just told me he liked my 13-year-old sister. He's not only underage, but is his cousin. I sat for about 30 minutes, and I didn't blow up on him, as I wanted to see just how deep this man's thoughts were. I sat there interrogating him, asking him why not someone your age? Is it because it's family and it's easier? Why are you preying on someone who's a child? He said ever since she was a kid, he has just really liked her. What the? He's a pedophile? He kept telling me that I was too worried about the law when the law wasn't my concern. It was the fact that he was viewing my younger sister as someone that he could be interested in. After questioning him, he could tell I was frustrated and angry, and I asked him to leave. She's a child. By and large, he has not been around my younger sister, and it's only recently that he has any kind of access to her, and even that access has been very limited. He took her out to the movies once recently, and my parents were uncomfortable with it and told him he can't take her out anymore. My sister does not live with me, but with her parents. He has also told me strange things about how he bought the most expensive suit he could find and wanted to take her out to dinner. This guy has problems. He's a menace to society. Seriously, lock him up. I brushed these little things off as I figured he was trying to be family and do nice things for his cousin. Now all of these things are starting to click in my head as being deeply problematic at a minimum. There's so many strange things about this. Why was he so comfortable about this idea? Why would he ask me about it? My perception of my cousin has significantly shifted, and at a bare minimum, I consider him to be a predator and having attempted to groom my younger sister. I don't know what to do exactly. I have told my immediate family about this, and my parents both knew about this to some extent already. I don't know what legal action can be taken, if any, other than just keeping my family away from him. I officially am not talking to my cousin anymore, and he will not be allowed anywhere near my family. I don't know what to do. I had to get this off my chest though. Yeah, what can you do about this? Like, do you call the police? Hey man, my freaking cousin's preying on my sister. He's 27 years old. And my sister's 13. Like, seriously, something should be done, right? Jail. That's disgusting, man. Nasty. All these stories. Oh my gosh. What? He says that he's liked her since she was a little kid. I feel like if this was like someone else, that cousin would have been bashed already. Like, he wouldn't even be able to think that again. Well, that's it for the video. Tell me in the comments down below what your thoughts are. And as always, thanks for watching and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.